to our fifth and final demo of ATD Demo Day. Find your next LMS. I'm so excited to be introducing you all to the Litmos team. Our fifth demo is Litmos LMS AI-powered for an effortless learner experience. Yelena Shula, Senior Solutions Consultant at Litmos, and Paul Ghosh, Senior Solutions Consultant at Litmos, are here to guide us through our final demo today. So without further ado, here is Yelena and Paul to lead the way for us.
Hi, everyone. So glad that you're here. My name is Yelena Shula. I'm based out of St. Augustine, Florida. I am a senior solution consultant at Litmos, and I really just like to think of my role as someone that helps you determine if Litmos is a good fit for you. Could Litmos really be your next LMS? So I'm excited to demo Litmos platform today, specifically some of our AI features that really make the learner experience really effortless. Before we get into the demo, I have Paul here with me. He's a colleague on my team, and he is a Litmos content expert. We want to tell you a little bit about Litmos content because at the end of the day, we understand that your LMS will only ever be as good as the content that you have in it for your learners. So before we get into the demo, Paul, can you give us a little bit of background on who you are, how you have been involved in the Litmos content solution, and really at a high level, how would you describe the Litmos content?
Yeah, thank you, Yelena. I appreciate it. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being so patient. We're super excited to meet with everyone today. My name is Paul Ghosh. I've been with Litmos 11 years, and I'm a solutions consultant just like Yelena. Happy to connect with you guys today on our solution. One thing I will say is I was privileged enough to be a part of our Litmos content team for the longest time since the inception of it. And really, the one great thing about being a part of that team where I held multiple roles in sales and production of courses from front to back is we truly felt like we were doing something to make a difference in lives individually by helping people grow personally and professionally, but also by helping and enabling businesses to really provide that safe, positive, and healthy workplace environment and culture. So super excited to dive into Litmos content and the Litmos solution as a whole. And as I give you a little bit of background on Litmos content, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to share a reel to play in the background. So hopefully you guys can see my screen, and I'm going to play the reel. But when it comes down to it, Litmos content is really just a great way to supplement professionally created content created by Litmos with your own courses. So our libraries are made up of approximately 3,200 courses that grow monthly, and it really covers two major components, which is compliance and soft skills. The compliance piece really to provide that healthy and safe workplace environment while protecting your business from any criminal or reputational damage. But also the soft skills piece to drive that upskilling and reskilling to enable personal and professional growth. The courses are created by an experienced content creation team and subject matter experts really designed for optimal learner outcomes.
Thanks, Paul. How can Litmos content impact learning audiences?
Yeah, understanding employee development is more crucial now than ever. The soft skills library of the Litmos solution covers many topics that are pivotal for employee development. In our general compliance library, we have 1,600 plus courses, and some popular topics include leadership, communication, productivity, well-being, and Microsoft training.
What is another way that Litmos content adds value to our customers currently?
I would say onboarding and compliance. Understanding onboarding and compliance are key pieces to set up new hires for success while establishing a positive workplace environment and culture. There's 400 plus courses in our general compliance library that cover popular topics, including business ethics, business operations, diversity and inclusion, discrimination and harassment, and people management. But with Litmos content, you can ensure quick and efficient onboarding and compliance that set employees up for success from the get-go, while ensuring your business is protected from a compliance standpoint. Also, please note, we offer region-specific compliance to ensure compliance down to the city, state, and region level.
Great. And last question here, Paul. What are some key differentiators and benefits of Litmos content?
Yeah, what's really neat about the off-the-shelf content from Litmos is we have monthly releases, including new courses and updates to existing ones. So The biggest benefit to you is you get new courses at no additional cost. At the same time, we're always updating the look and feel of our existing courses to make sure they have a modern, consumable, and learner-centric look and feel. And if there's a compliance law change, we're going to ensure that a new version of that compliance course is pushed out with our regular updates. We do offer multiple delivery methods and formats to cater to various different learners, including animation, talking heads, and even a hybrid of both. Lastly, we're always expanding our content partnerships to maximize content options to leverage within Litmos, which includes access up to 80,000 plus courses.
All right, thanks, Paul, for that. And let's get started with the demo. Let me start sharing my screen. There we go. All right, so I'm logged in as Mark Smith. He is a learner logged into Litmos to complete training. The first thing that you'll notice here is our learner dashboard. Very intuitive, very easy to use, very modern look and feel. We have gone with this kind of Netflix style type of dashboard, except, instead of TV shows and movies, this is all training content. This is training content that has been assigned to me, whether that is compliance content, onboarding content, any type of content, whether that's been Litmos content that Paul was just talking about, or it could be content that you have created yourself. It's assigned to me. It shows up on my dashboard. There's the overdue swim lane, which is training that is overdue. Very easy to get to from here. I can just click on any of the course tiles. There's also my in progress swim lane, so training that I have started but I have yet to complete, so I can easily continue that course. And then training that has been assigned to me but not started. And this could be courses, or it could even be something like a learning path. So again, very effortless experience for the learner. Now, what I want to be focusing on today's demo really is 3 of our AI power features. And that's going to be the AI playlist, the AI assistant, and the AI content author. So the AI playlist is will show for the learner on the homepage. And I actually downloaded Spotify last night. I always heard of Spotify and I had never really used it myself. But I got it last night and I was creating some playlists, and it reminded me of our playlist because, as you can see here, I can enter a topic. So in this case, I'll just use, PowerPoint, Excel. And the AI playlist will create a playlist of content for me. So we'll pick the 10 most relevant courses in that content library and display those for me on my homepage. I can create up to 3 playlists at a time. So let's say that, I'm going to create another playlist for leadership, and not just leadership, but leadership for new managers. So I'm being very specific with my prompt here. And you can see it's creating another playlist for me on leadership essentials. Again, I can create up to 3 of these. It is sorted by relevance. The learner can also sort different ways, alphabetical order, or things like, the newest, the oldest to newest. So this is completely under their control. They can also delete these playlists from their home screen once they're no longer interested in the content. So let's say I've taken, enough leadership courses. I no longer have imposter syndrome, right? I can go ahead and delete that playlist. So I love this feature because it just allows the learner to very effortless be able to search for content. So we do still offer this learning library here that you can see on the upper navigation menu. And this is more of what I kind of like to call the old-fashioned way of searching for content, because as you can see here, I have access to all of this content. Again, a majority of it is Litmos content, but there's also custom content that I have created. And I have a search bar at the top, and I have my different ways of searching here, based on topics, based on languages or tags. But again, I call this the old-fashioned way of searching because with our AI functionality, we have really taken this search to the next level with our AI playlist and our AI assistant. Now, the AI assistant is going to be located here on this navigation menu at the top. The AI assistant takes what the AI playlist does and takes it to the next level. So the AI assistant can perform actions such as recommend content based on a description or a question. It can summarize content. It can assign courses to myself, or if I have permission to do so, I can assign courses to other people or a team. And it can also answer questions on content that I have access to. So for example, and this is going to be, I'm going to enter a description. I'm looking for sales objections courses. The AI assistant is going to look at that learning library. And again, there's over 3,000 courses in the learning library. It's going to run the search for me, and it's going to come back with, the top 3 most relevant courses, right? I can also use this as a way to summarize. So maybe this first course looks interesting, but I'm not sure if I want to take it yet. So I could say something like, tell me more about the first course. So now it's going to look at that first course on the list, and it's going to come back with a longer description of that course, right? So maybe now I could say, okay, well, now I'm interested. Now I want to take it. So I can click on that course tile, and I can either start this course now, or I can enroll in this course for later. So if I enroll in that course for later, now you'll see here that that course has been added to my not started swim lane. So it's there next time I log in. So it's a great way, again, to discover content. You can also discover content based on just asking a question. So let's say I'm going to start a new chat. And in this case, I'm going to ask, how do I best handle an upset customer? Maybe I'm in a customer service role. So I'm going to ask the question, and you'll see that it's not only going to recommend content based on this question that I'm asking, but it's also going to give me a summary, some tips on how to handle an upset customer. So it's a really great way, again, to discover content based on specific descriptions or specific questions. My favorite thing that the AI assistant does is answering questions on content that I have access to. So it can read all types of files, file types. So whether that's SCORM files, PDFs, Word documents, videos, audio files, whether it's Litmos content or it's content that you have created. It can also not just read e-learning courses, but it can read assets. So think of any policies or procedures that you upload into the LMS, employee handbooks, any type of resources that you want to make available to the learner. So in this case, I have uploaded our travel and expense policy, and I'm asking the Litmos AI assistant, what car size can I rent per company policy? So it gives me an answer here. The car rentals are limited to intermediate car sizes, except when 3 people are traveling together. So it tells me exactly what the policy is, but it also gives me a link to that policy. So just like it gave me a link to the course, I can click on that policy. It's an asset. In this case, this is a PDF file I can download and I can view that. So one of the great things that the AI assistant does is that it not only answers my questions, but it also gives me a link to the resource or the course, or where did it get this information from? So I'll show you another example here. In this case, I'm asking a question. We're a remote company. We have a certain home office allowance if I live in the US. So I'm asking, what is my home office allowance? And you can see here, it's telling me is, $500. So again, it lists that home office policy. So I can click on that and download the policy for myself and review that if I want to. Great things about our AI assistant, it is a closed AI. It's only contained within your Litmos instance. So when it's answering questions, when it's making recommendations, it's only looking at this area here of the learning library. So it's only answering questions and making recommendations on content that the learner already has access to. So it's not going out to Google to run an online search or anything like that. You can be secure that this is only looking at this learning library. And because this learning library can be personalized for learners depending on who they are in the organization, it is possible that in my learning library, I have access to content that other people don't have access to. So what's great with the AI assistant is that two different people could be asking the same exact question, and they could be getting two different answers because those answers are going to be determined based on what is available to me in that learning library. So again, the AI playlist, the AI assistant, great ways to really make the learner experience really effortless for them to be able to search and discover content that they're interested in. The third AI feature that we wanted to cover today, it's actually our newest feature, and it is our AI content author tool. So Litmos has a great built-in content author tool. It is a SCORM creator. It's been around for years. Our customers love it. But now we have added this AI technology to the content author tool to just help you with creating content. So you'll see here when I open up the content author tool, the first thing I have to do is enter a prompt for the AI. In this case, I have already entered my prompt here. I'm asking for the AI to create a course title, the gold standard, customer service excellence. I've added a few more details of things that I would like to be included in the course. The prompt does not have to be this exact. I'm just a detail person and I wanted to add, as much information as you can, but you do not have to enter all these details. You also have the option to attach a file. So if you have maybe started creating some content, you have a PowerPoint slide, a PDF, a Word document, maybe you've started working on an outline, you're welcome to add that file and the AI assistant will use that file to create content. The other thing that you can do, and out of the box, it's going to be turned off by default, but you can choose to turn on the AI training data. What that's going to do is going to tell the AI that it is okay to use the world knowledge that the AI model has to help you with this content creation. So for the demo today, I don't have a file, so I'm not going to upload a file. I simply enter a prompt and I'm using the AI training data to see what kind of content it's going to create on customer service excellence. I can also choose how long I want this content to be. So anything from micro learning, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, all the way up to 30 minutes, which would be considered something that's more comprehensive. So I'm just going to say, approximately 15 minutes. And now with the prompt and how long I want this to be, I'm going to generate some learning objectives. So the AI generated 3 learning objectives based on my desired duration of 15 minutes. So keep in mind that if you had a 30 minutes desired duration, you probably would have more learning objectives in this. In future releases, we are including the ability for the content author to be able to add their own learning objectives or to be able to edit these learning objectives. But for this phase of the release, we're just giving you the ability to delete some of these if they don't apply to you, if you wanted to take them out. So with the learning objectives now, we're going to generate an outline. So again, similar to the learning objectives, in future releases, we're going to have the ability for you to add to this outline or to edit the outline. But for now, you just have the ability to delete. So in this case, I'm just going to delete this last part here, the conclusion and next steps. I just want to end my course with the final assessment. So I'm going to do that. Now it's going to create the content. So when it creates the content, what it's doing is it's creating pages. So that outline that you saw, each section of the outline is going to have pages that have been created. You're going to get things like page titles, page images. Now you can go into each page and start editing. In my experience, the AI assistant usually takes me 60 to 70% there with the course creation. I go in next and then I make some final edits. We don't want to take the human element completely out. So there are always things that we're going to allow you to be able to edit. I have a coworker, I was just speaking with him this morning, and he was able to create a course, and he said the AI assistant took him 90% of the way there. So some things that you can do once you're here. So now you have created your initial page. Now keep in mind that everything is editable, right? So you can, if you don't like this image, you can choose another image of your liking, either from something that you upload or from using our Unsplash library, or you may not want to have an image at all, or just add a color, right? So it's completely up to you. Creative freedom here. But I wanted to show you a few other key components of this. So let's say I'm going to take this whole text that it provided, and now I want to edit it. You have the options to make it shorter, to make it longer, to make it more casual, to make it more professional, or to find an image. So in this case, I'm going to make it shorter. So again, it's going to take all that text, it's going to summarize it for me. And I can read through this. If I don't like it, I can have it try again. Or again, I'll have the options to modify it. So those options again to make shorter or make longer. I'm just going to go ahead and keep it. And I'm going to also find an image for this. So if I do find image, again, it's going to look in this library and try to find an image that corresponds with that text. So now I can add an image here. So very easily I can go back in and I can make those changes. A couple more examples. Now let's say I want to go into this third page here and start editing this one. There's other components that you can add into the pages. So if you're familiar with content author tools, again, this is a SCORM creator, very interactive SCORM content. All of the blue icons here that you see on the list, these are your storytellers. So all your text-based components, headings, text, lists, block quotes, all of that can be added as components on these pages. You have the green icons. These are all the media components, things like embedding pictures, videos, embedding a YouTube or Vimeo video with the URL, audio files, right? There's orange components are going to be what really makes the course very dynamic, very visually appealing. So including things like hotspots on an image, flip cards, grid reveals. These are the type of elements that make the course interactive, where the user is clicking and what they're seeing on their screen is changing. So it's keeping them interactive. And then there's the purple icons, and these are assessment components. So you can include on the pages multiple choice questions, click to match, true, false, and things of that sort. So all of these you can do manually. Now notice that some of these have also been AI enhanced, right? So it means the AI is helping you create these components. So let's say I'm going to create, actually, before I create the list, let me copy this. So I'm just going to take this text here, and I'm going to create a list. So there's my list. Now I could manually go in and start adding things to my list, or I could tell the AI to do it for me. So I'm going to generate with that same text that I had copied, and I'm going to make that into a list. So this is how the AI is helping me with content creation. It's not just that original content creation piece, but then adding in all of the components, right? So it's taking this and it's made it into a longer list. So again, I could edit and I can take things out if I need to. Something else that I can do, let's say here from the fourth page, I'm going to insert some flip cards. So I'm going to copy this text here, and I'm going to do flip cards. And flip cards are my favorite. Every time I create courses, I always include flip cards. There's something about flip cards that I just find very visually appealing. And the way that it will do it is, well, it has, a picture, and then I click on that flip card and turns it around, and it gives me some information on the back side. So again, you can do all of that manually, or you can have the AI assist you, and you can always go back and edit. So there's created some flip cards for me. All right, so and for the sake of time, because I want to leave time and for questions, let's just say I'm done editing all the pages. I have added all the components, whether I added the components manually or I used the AI. Now I just want to preview, right? So I can, and it also creates an introduction for me with an image and all of that to the course. So let me go ahead and preview. So when it previews, you'll notice here at the top, there's 3 different ways that I can preview this content. I can see what this would look like on a desktop. And this is my first page here, right? This is the one that we edited, that we made shorter. We added an image. This is the next one here. We didn't do anything with this one, but I can also see what it would look like on a tablet. So if someone was looking at this on a tablet, what would that look like? and I can also see what it would look like on a mobile device. Right, so you can go through so all of the content, and you can see what this would look like. And these are the flip cards. Again, these are my favorite. So this is where it makes it interactive. I can click through. And then once you're happy with your course content, you can always go back and edit if you needed to change anything. But once you are happy with this, you can decide to publish. Now, if you publish it, that means you're going to make it active in Litmo, so you can start assigning it to your learners, or you can choose to export in a SCORM file 1.2. So although the Litmos content author tool is built in your Litmos LMS, it is your content, so you have complete control over that. And so we allow you to be able to export those SCORM files. So with that being said, we got about 6 minutes left. I'd love to hear any questions. I can't see the chat. So Paul, I'm going to rely on you to let me know what people are saying.
Yeah, no. So we did have some questions come through, and I apologize if I mispronounced his name. Pasadori asked, are the answers to your questions based on internal content or whatever AI finds on the web?
Great question. So it is going to be based on internal content. The AI, in the AI playlist and the AI assistant, when it's answering questions, it's only looking at the content that is in your Litmos instance and the content that is available to your learner. So it's not going outside to look and be at content from the outside, or so it's not able to answer questions. So let's say I'm asking a question on X topic. If there's no content available to me on that topic, the AI assistant will just not be able to answer it because it can only answer if there's topics available to me. But a great question.
Yeah, good question. So another question came through is there a report that can pull inquiries for the AI?
Yeah, that's another great one. So right now we do have a quick report. It's part of your Litmos reporting dashboard, and there is a report that you can pull up all the learners, and you can see exactly how many AI assistant conversations they're having. So if you see a learner that's really engaged, asking the AI assistant lots of questions versus somebody that never uses the AI assistant, so we are able to give you data on number of conversations. In a future release, we will expand on that report, and we will also include actual conversations. So if you'll be able to track, right, not only were 100 AI assistant inquiries, but what was being asked and what was the AI assistant responding to those learners.
Yeah, so some good questions so far. A couple more have come through. One of them from Beth Ann. Can courses have costs associated with them? Can those costs vary based on user type? So it's more of a question based on cost and content and user type for them. I can answer that. So we do have flexible packages that include various content libraries plus platform on different types of users as well, whether they're named users or active users. Named users meaning learners logging in on an annual basis or active users logging in on a monthly basis. So quite a bit of flexibility there. Would love to expand that conversation a bit more if you want more details on that. Another question from Scott. Is it possible to add instructor-led or virtual instructor-led courses to a learner's options?
Yeah, so Litmos is very flexible when it comes to content creation. So what I was just showing you today is our content author tool, which is the SCORM creator. We also have another way to build content inside the platform. We call that the course builder. The course builder includes the content author tool, but it also includes other types of modules. So a type of module that we have is instructor-led training, and that's if you are having those instructor-led training sessions, whether they're virtual or they're in person, you can include that as part of a course. A lot of our customers will have courses that have several components. For example, they'll start the course with a SCORM file where they're watching some video or answering some questions. Then that will be followed by an in-person or virtual training. And then that will be followed by, at the end, by a survey or an assessment. So you can certainly have blended learning where some of it is e-learning and some of it is instructor-led, all in the same course.
Awesome. A couple more questions. One from Brad. Can you provide your own learning objectives to the AI to build the content?
Yeah, so this is actually in the works. So right now, the way that you just saw, you couldn't do that, but I actually just saw last week on Friday, I saw kind of behind the scenes of what the team is working on, and that is coming next. So you are going to be able to put your learning objectives to that list. So you'll be able to contribute to more than what the AI is creating. So stay tuned for that one.
Awesome. And last question for now, from Quint, do you have an e-commerce module?
Yes, we have an e-commerce module and included in Litmos, and it's an exciting time for our e-commerce because there's a lot of enhancements on the roadmap to that module for 2025. So it's a good year if you're thinking about your next LMS, and e-commerce is important to you because we have a lot of enhancements being done to our current functionality.
Yeah, I concur. A lot of excitement behind e-commerce, and that really kind of wraps up all the questions we have. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to throw them out in the chat. We certainly are super excited to have the opportunity to connect with you guys. I know it's been a long day. You guys have been sitting through quite a few demos, but again, super excited that we have the chance to connect with you guys. So with that being said, if there aren't any more questions, I'll hand it back over to Alexandria.
Yay! Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank you.
Litmos.